Welcome to the biggest big run ever. This event has just started in Splatoon 3 and will be lasting all weekend. It is the precursor to the Grand Festival Splatfest, as the Salmonids have taken away the Grand Splatlands Bowl stage from us. This event has some major new features involved with it, which honestly makes it the best big run we have ever seen in Splatoon 3, and one that you definitely won't want to miss. So I'm going to be sharing some of the new features, additions, some tips for playing this big run as well to get a high score, and generally my first impressions of everything new. So let's jump right into the video. Now, starting us off, we can see from the get-go that the score needed to get gold, to get the gold Grizz statue, happens to be 150. And that might seem daunting to some players, but trust me, if you're going to get gold on any big run, it'll definitely be this one. It is by far the easiest to do. And this is coming from someone who wouldn't even consider themselves the best salmon run player out there or anything like that. So trust me, you'll have a good time with that, and I'm going to explain why later. However, the main new thing is the big counter, which is counting up how many eggs we all collect as a player base. The total number Mr. Grizz wants us to go after is 700 million, specifically because the Grand Splatlands Bowl is the 7th spot. This is part of Splatoon lore, the 7th site where the Salmonids do their great migration. So if you like Splatoon lore, there's definitely some cool new details for you to enjoy there. But yeah, there's this massive timer in the lobby right at the front and also in the training area as well, where you can see how many eggs we have collected as a player base. And I just think this is so incredibly cool. Now, if we do manage to get to that 700 million number, which I know might seem really crazy, we will get a certain amount of fish scales, as I mentioned. And Mr. Grizz has confirmed that the fish scale quota will be 7 gold fish scales, 21 silver fish scales, and 210 bronze fish scales. Now, if we happen to get more than 700 million, we can get more fish scales as well. The number will go up each time, which is definitely very cool. It might be kind of difficult to do, but I feel like as a player base, it definitely is possible. Just keep an eye on your scores and try and get as many golden eggs as possible. It is also technically possible to fail this, but I don't think that's going to happen, or at least I certainly hope it won't. I don't want to jinx things for everyone, but yeah, come on folks, let's not fail this. Now, definitely the most exciting thing as related to this big run is of course the new stage, the Grand Splatlands Bowl, which we need to take back from the Salmonids before the main event happens next weekend. This is a completely new stage, this is our first time playing it in Splatoon. And my first impressions of this is it is absolutely incredible. This is by far my favorite big run map we have ever seen. I know part of that might just be because it's new and I'm excited to play on it, but honestly, I thought this was great. With some of the big run maps, they've definitely had fairly awkward layouts being translated over from regular stages, but I don't feel like this one is awkward at all. Maybe aside from one particular wave, I believe it might be the highest tide, I don't think any of the waves are really awkward, and even that one is completely fine, honestly, compared to some other stages. Also, it just looks really great and gets everyone excited for the main event to happen. I just love how this one looks so much, so I definitely think it's going to go down in history as probably the best big run map that we have gotten, which is definitely really fantastic. However, the best thing about this map, by far, that you need to know about is a new feature, which is the cannons. Now, these might kind of remind you of the big shot cannons, and they do basically work in that way. On each wave, there will be 4 of these. There will be 2 which will be really close to the basket, and 2 others which will be pretty far away. The far away cannons will work almost exactly like the big shot ones do. They will allow you to fire eggs towards the basket. These can be really useful in situations where there are bosses super far away and you just don't want to carry all those eggs over, so it allows you just to throw them over there nice and easily for other teammates to collect and put in the basket. However, what we really need to focus on is the 2 closest baskets. These are incredible. They effectively act like baskets themselves, in the sense that they will automatically drop the golden egg straight into the egg basket. This means you don't have to worry about picking them up and putting them in manually, it'll do it automatically for you, which is so incredible. This makes getting really high scores a lot easier in this particular big run. In fact, I was able to get the gold prize on my very first attempt, something that I have never done in a big run ever before. So yeah, these are absolutely OP, they are incredible, a really great feature of the map. The closest ones are definitely something to focus on if you want to get those high scores, and of course help out the community as well. But don't forget the further away ones too, because they can come in handy, especially for those bosses that like to stay in the corners. You know, your things like the stingers and such, they're really handy for getting eggs to the basket when you're taking those down. Another feature that will help you get a lot more golden eggs in this particular big run is the fact that there are goldies wandering around the map, and of course these can drop a ton of golden eggs. Usually these are just on special waves, but in this big run they can be found in every single wave, and I honestly found them to be pretty common. If you pair one of these up with the new cannon, oh my gosh, you're going to get so many eggs so quickly, it is actually ridiculous. Now, it might just be me, but I also feel like they were dropping the one golden egg, aka the unlucky goldie, a little bit less than they usually do. That is just my own speculation though, so please take that with a grain of salt. Of course, you do get every single Grizzco weapon for this one, and in fact you only get Grizzco weapons, so keep in mind some of these are going to be pretty difficult to use, and they won't be the most enjoyable, so some waves might go a little bit better than others. I'm looking at you, Grizzco Slosher. I do actually plan on doing a video going over all the Grizzco weapons, however, so keep an eye out for that. We also happen to have the Triumvirate as well, which I thought was pretty decent to play against on this new map. I didn't really have any problems with them. Another really exciting new feature is that they have added in new music. If you're in the lobby, you may hear some new music paired up with Deep Cut, which is so incredibly cool. I love it. I love all the attention to detail with this new event. The fact that they've gone and added new music even in the lobby is just great. There's also new music in the battle itself, so yeah, make sure you listen out for it. There's some really great new tracks for you to enjoy this time. I did also want to mention that whilst this technically isn't a new feature to the big run, recently added in the last updates, you can now get fish scales as a part of your capture rewards for taking part in Salmon Run, and of course you get a ton extra of these for playing a big run, so it is definitely important to make sure you're getting all of your rewards possible so that you can also get some extra fish scales too, because honestly the amount we're given by Nintendo for getting the goal isn't too much, so you could definitely get a few more by playing just a ton yourself. So yeah, this is a very exciting event. I'm loving it so far. Let me know your thoughts and your tips and such down in the comment section below. If you make it to the end, be sure to comment Splat Gang so I know you did. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe and turn on notifications for more.